May is the month of mental health and wellness. In today's show, we share some helpful mental health resources for students.
This is also the month of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, so we are going to speak with a local organization advocating for that community. Don't go anywhere, Studio G starts right now.
Welcome back to Studio G. I'm Katora Thomas.
And I'm Louis Anderson. In breaking news, exercising bike company Peloton recalls all treadmills after a child dies and others were injured.
They are having many concerns about the safety of the machine and have advised customers to stop using them. This comes weeks after discussions with the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commissions. As of May 2nd, Nevadans will have to prove that they are searching for jobs if they are filing unemployment claims. Valentina Minchikov brings us more.
May 2nd, job searches have returned as a requirement for filing unemployment claims. During the first initial shutdown, reporting job searches was not a requirement because all non-essential businesses were closed. But with more vaccines being distributed each day, and with the steady reopening of businesses we once missed, employment opportunities are growing. The new requirements are a step closer to getting our city back to the economic glory it once had. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Valentina Menchikov.
Job search being a new requirement will hopefully lower the unemployment numbers in Nevada.
Last night, Clark County Commissioner and the Space hosted a live stream event called #GetVaxNV with the goal of encouraging 16 to 25-year-olds to get their COVID-19 vaccinations. Commissioner Michael Naft wanted to have an honest conversation with viewers and healthcare experts to answer questions about the vaccine. The live stream was around an hour long and included a roundtable discussion that included UNLV athletes and the Las Vegas Raiders to speak about why they felt the need to get vaccinated.
With more than 47% of Clark County's population receiving at least one dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, Nevada is now pushing back on mask usage. Aligning with the CDC goals, you no longer have to wear a mask outside unless you're at a large gathering. Using a mask indoors, such as stores, gyms, and malls, will still be enforced for everyone, whether or not they are vaccinated. Those that are not vaccinated are recommended to continue wearing a mask both indoors and outdoors.
Red Rock Resorts has recently been talking about expanding, possibly in the Southwest area with a hotel and casino. The Southwest area does not have a casino around the area. The company wants to build a large casino with several restaurants. Red Rock plans on putting their next project around Durango and the 215 Beltway. The breaking ground will happen early 2022.
Yesterday on Studio G, we mentioned the Wynn and Encore transitioned their casino floor capacity to 100%. Adding to the list is the Cosmopolitan. The hotel announced they reached an 80% vaccination rate among their active workforce, committing to pay out upwards of $1 million in cash bonuses to vaccinated employees. With this new decision, they will now eliminate social distancing restrictions and plastic barriers on the gaming floor.
A new update on the Derek Chauvin trial leaves a possibility for a second evaluation. Studio G reporter Jonathan Corral gives us a quick breakdown.
On Tuesday, convicted murderer and ex-police officer Derek Chauvin filed court documents for a new trial. According to his attorney, Eric Nelson, the trial was unfair due to the fact that it was held in the city where the killing occurred and that the high publicity of the trial made it difficult to conduct it in a fair manner. Nelson argues that due to the publicity, expert witnesses in defense of Chauvin were too intimidated to step up. Nelson claims that the manner in which this trial was conducted could have a slippery slope effect on how future high-publicity trials go forward. Whether his arguments are strong enough to get a second trial is still a decision that the courts have yet to reach. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Jonathan Corral.
I'm not going to lie, Louis. I do think it is a bit interesting that Mr. Chauvin would want to have a second trial, considering we all saw the footage. But what do you think?
Well, not only the footage, I think the first trial basically confirmed the decision. I don't believe that it's going to change anytime soon. So it is surprising to me that he thinks that he can reverse his verdict or even possibly lessen it.
Yes, I think it will probably just say something about the American judicial system.
If it was to be reversed, that would definitely means that we would have to fix things around some more.
But I guess that's up to our generation, huh?
Definitely.
Don't go anywhere. After this break, we take a look at today's weather.
As we come out of this pandemic, businesses need help. At the Vegas Chamber, we've partnered with Workforce Connections to make this happen.
These business hubs can help you find qualified candidates, build an effective hiring process, explore training options, and connect you to funding resources.
These resources are real and available to all businesses in Las Vegas. Connect online or visit your local Employee NV Business Hub today.
This vaccine was developed in record time, but it was only possible due to the 15 years or so of prior research on other coronaviruses, including the SARS coronavirus 1. So they built up on 15 years of research and then put the best people all over the world in developing these vaccines and had literally every single possible assistance from the government. So it's not hasty and it's safe.
Good afternoon, Las Vegas. Welcome back to Studio G. I'm Anthony Ramos. Let's take a look at what we have in store for your weather for this week. Today, as of right now, we are looking at 82 degrees. Skies are sunny. High is going to be 93 today with that low of 64. And wind speeds are going to be coming from the east-northeast at 9 miles an hour. Let's take a look at what's going on with tonight. Tonight we are looking at 88 degrees, clear skies with a low of 73 degrees. Wind speeds at 4 miles an hour, so wind is not going to be a big problem as it has been over the last week and a half. Taking a look at what's going on with temperatures around the valley, 80s all across the board except up in Nellis. We're sitting at 95 at Nellis. Las Vegas, 82 degrees. North Las Vegas will be at 87 degrees. Centennial up there, you guys will be at 87 as well. Summerlin at 84. Southern Highlands, you guys will be at 86 degrees with 87 at Green Valley and, of course, 86 in Boulder. Almost said Boulder Highway. No, at Boulder City. I'm sure it'll be 80 at Boulder Highway too, but that says Boulder City. All right, taking a look at your 5-day forecast. Wednesday today is supposed to be 93 degrees with a low of 64. Thursday tomorrow, we're going to bump it up a little bit with 97 with a low of 68. Friday, going to drop it down just a little bit, get a little bit windy and a little bit cloudy with 91 degrees with a low of 68. Saturday, keeping it lower than normal, 90 degrees. 66 with that low, and Sunday is going to be 88 degrees for Mother's Day with that low of 64. So nice weather all across the valley. It is time to go swimming, get out there, get active, have some fun, enjoy the weather. That's all we have for weather. Studio G will be right back after this break.
Have family gatherings again and be able to hug a person. That's so important. You know, the contact, human contact.
And there's a whole group of us who meet at the post office around 10 o'clock, old folks, you know. And I just want to continue to do that, to be able to go out and meet with people. And I do, and I want to feel safe.
Project reminds you that hope is on the horizon. We know it's been a difficult year for everyone, and the world may still feel unstable at times. It's okay, because you are not alone. If you or someone you know is struggling, our Resilience Ambassadors are available and can help you find stability. Visit NevadaResilienceProject.com to connect with one of our Resilience Ambassadors.
Welcome back to Studio G. May is Mental Health and Wellness Month, and Studio G reporter Yavni Gully has a story on resources for UNLV students.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. It is a time to raise awareness of those living with mental or behavioral issues and to help reduce the stigmas so many experience. 1 in 5 people, or 20% of Americans, suffer from a psychiatric illness, which can slowly impact their work and relationship life. Due to the pandemic and the increase in mental health issues, many major companies are taking the steps to address the stigma with mental illness. The NFL released a mental health campaign to discuss the stigmas between men and mental health issues. A brewing company in Kansas created a beer can design, Things We Don't Say, with mental health hotlines on the can in order to start the conversation about mental health awareness. If you or anyone you know is struggling with mental illness, you can reach out to the Student Wellness Center or Student Counseling and Psychological Services here on the UNLV campus. Reporting for Studio G, I'm Yavni Gully.
With this week being study week, it is important for students to take care of their mental health. UNLV CAPS will be hosting a drop-in virtual mediation workshop today from 5 to 6 p.m. You can find more information at unlv.edu/CAPS or on their Instagram at UNLV-CAPS. May is also Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We'll send it over to Lewis with today's interview.
Hey guys, I want to say thank you for being here with us. I have Carlo and Preston from Snapex. And in honor of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, do you guys want to give us a brief overview of what Snapex is and what are some of its goals?
Yeah, so Snapex is short for the in Southern Nevada, serving all sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. So focusing, of course, on Asian Pacific Islander as well as Desi American. We provide a lot of social and cultural groups, meetups, hangout, and provide a lot of resources for our API queer family here in Southern Nevada.
That's great to hear. And what made you guys want to get involved? Like, how did you guys get started with the organization?
Do you want to start? Yeah, I can start. So in early 2019, a group of friends got together and we're like, you know what, we didn't find a community or a space where API queer folks can come together and have a safe place to talk about the issues that pertain to our community. So as a result, we kind of got together and banded together to create this organization. It was a beautiful process to start and see, just because like our first overall meeting, we didn't think that many people, we didn't think it was going to be a big issue, or not so big issue, be really, really powerful. And with over 100 members, active members, even through a pandemic, that's really powerful. And Carlo is actually a member as well as a board member who actually joined us during the pandemic. So we want to talk more about
the pandemic. How's that?
Yeah, so about less than a year into Snapex sort of growing and retaining members, I joined back in October during the pandemic, and so it was an opportunity for me to really seek out a group of people that shared, some experiences being API and queer, and it was an opportunity for me to seek out support, but also really find a family here in Vegas.
Yeah. I definitely get what you guys are saying. I've been looking for an organization like this since freshman year, and I'll be at today's meeting actually. And I do think there's definitely being queer and part of the Asian American Pacific Islander community is a unique experience, just because a lot of our families are pretty conservative, I would say. Yeah. And how do you guys see Snapex growing and helping other people?
Snapex we see it growing to be bigger than what we ever envisioned it. We want to make sure that whether we have it in-house or working with our local partners to make sure that whether it's HIV testing or housing, making sure that people, if they are lacking resources, have access to the resources and be available to even talk to other community members who might relate to their issues that are going on in their life, so that they can feel connected, feel like they can turn to someone when they can't turn to their own blood family.
Right, so it's like a second family almost, right? For people who's part of our community. And what is the best experience you've had since joining the organization? So we can share with our viewers and get more people to know what's going on.
I think one unique experience was to connect with somebody to getting tested for HIV for the first time. It can be very scary, traumatizing. Yeah. And I went in with another peer of mine who's part of Snapex and never been tested, and he was had multiple sexual partners, and it's like, whoa, it's, he didn't know, because he was not educated about these resources, he didn't know where he could turn for free HIV testing. So working with our local LGBT center here in Southern Nevada, got him free testing, free STI testing, so that he was connected to resources, but be more educated about his sexual health and his sexual well-being.
That's great. So it seems like you guys have a lot of resources for young AAPI queer members of Nevada. And I just want to ask, like, what is something you would want the viewers to know about Snapex? Like, what is like, how do you guys get new members to come join? Like, do you guys have social media platforms? Do you guys host like active events?
Yeah, so we definitely follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and definitely check out our website at snapex.org, snapiqs.org. And so we are actually having our in-person general meeting today at the LGBTQ Center of Las Vegas at 6 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, and so definitely go and check us out in person. It'll be our first in-person meeting for like almost a year now. And so it's this really great opportunity to get a lot of our community come together and really sort of break down that wall and get people comfortable with in-person meetings and trying to, you know, sort of establish normalcy. And it's also really a big visibility thing. It's us, people that look like us, Asian and queer, being together and really forming the sense of community.
That's amazing. And I just want to just say your guys' shirts are amazing, and I have to know who designed it in the organization.
One of our founding members, John, his sister, made our logo. So we want to make sure that we encapsulate our Asian Pacific heritage, but also encapsulate Las Vegas. So you see the playing card as being part of the fan right there, as well as being the fans being very symbolic to many of not only like Vietnamese, Chinese, but all Asian cultures throughout Southern Asia.
I think it's beautiful because I think you guys are one of the biggest, and I'm not sure if you guys are the only LGBT or Asian American organization in Nevada, but I haven't heard of many. Like, do you guys have any partners in the community? Like, who do you guys work with?
We of course work with the local LGBT center here in Southern Nevada, ACDC.
Yeah. One API Nevada, the Henderson Equality Center. So a lot of overreaching just LGBTQ organizations that are not only geared to Asian Pacific Islanders, but also just the queer society in general.
Wow, that's honestly amazing. I'm so happy you guys came to speak to us. And before we finish, is there anything you want to tell us more about Snapex for our viewers to hear?
Yeah, no, definitely join. It is free to join Snapex.
Yes.
There's no cost associated with it. It's really your involvement and what you get out of it as far as your participation. So you could always go in and out as you like and come as you are.
Yeah. And the link is on the website, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's great. I just wanted to double check because I did fill it out last week, and I can't wait to see you guys today at 6. And thank you guys again for being here. And now we're going to go back to Katora Thomas on the front. Oh, we're going to break. Never mind. We are going to break, guys.
What? Another past due? Financially. What if I can't? I've never been so stressed.
Are you feeling anxious or overwhelmed? In these challenging times, it's important to remember you're not alone, and support is available. Take care of your mental health. Reach out to friends, family, or neighbors for connection. And if you need help or someone to talk to, we're here for you. Crisis Support Services of Nevada. When life gets overwhelming, we are here to listen.
My husband is having trouble changing the channel on the remote.
I tried making my famous chicken recipe, but confused the steps.
My dad is trailing off in the middle of his sentences.
Andrew Cuomo, New York governor, announced that Broadway will be back in business on September 14th. Tickets go on sale tomorrow for Broadway shows and theaters, which will be open at 100% capacity once they reopen. American rapper Travis Scott is bringing back Astroworld Fest. The music festival is set to take place November 5th through the 6th in Houston, Texas. Tickets have sold out within 2 hours of the release and it is set to a good welcome back for music festivals.
Two local organizations, the Nevada Esport Education League and the Las Vegas Young Professional Kiwanis, host a 3-day charity stream fundraiser for Direct Relief, which is a nonprofit that aims to improve the health and lives on people affected by poverty and other emergencies. And not only did they meet their goal of $750, they actually doubled it and raised $1,582. That's amazing. Before we go today I want to let you guys know it is Cinco de Mayo. Every year on this day, many Americans celebrate Mexican-American heritage and pride.
In 2005, the United States Congress issued a proclamation for Americans to observe Cinco de Mayo. Most people celebrate with Mexican-themed meal and drinks, as well as exploring Mexican culture, music, dance, and film. In addition, there are Cinco de Mayo deals happening today.
This includes $5 off your Postmates order and $5 for a dozen glazed donuts at Krispy Kreme's, which I'm definitely gonna go and get some.
I'm excited to hit up my favorite Mexican places. I will be doing multiple to include tacos and BRLV, frijoles and frescas, and probably Casa Don Juan's. What about you?
You know, my favorite taco place is actually right off of UNLV, and it closed like 2 years ago. So I will go with you to hit up some of your favorites because I am looking for a good taco place.
I really think they'll be happy to see us.
And that's all we have for you today. I'm Lewis Anderson.
And I'm Katora Thomas. Thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in for our final episode of the semester tomorrow at noon.